How you doing, guys? Tap out here, aka Bucket. This video I'm going to do today is going to be about the orator and how to farm it. It's not my original video. I've got this method from watching someone else's video. However, I'm going to throw in a couple of things that I think would be helpful for people who are new to Tier 7 and Tier 8 ships and fleets and the mechanics of the game, because I wasn't aware of a couple of different things that made it so that my ship got destroyed the first time round. So hopefully if I can make a video for you guys in the clan and highlight these points, you might not make the same mistakes as me. First of all, obviously you're going to need a sovereign. You can get this from farming the Altarian fleets and getting the blueprints. There's a couple of things you're going to need for this to make it work, and we'll go through them now. I'll tell you what you want, what you don't want, and explain a couple of things. First of all, you're going to want your sovereign. Your sovereign's going to need to be around about Mark 4, I believe. I think it's Mark 4 you need. On this sovereign, you're going to want to put your 2 cyclotron beams, level 2 cyclotron beams. Don't make the same mistake as I did and think I'll put xeno on there and go for the extra damage. I got carried away focusing on damage. I didn't take into consideration that the cyclotron beams only actually do about 60 damage more, as I'll show you in here. Cyclotron 3, 722, 662. They only do 60 damage more, but with Altarian having 50% resistance to alien damage, you're actually only putting 350, 360 on your ship, because half of this is going to be basically ignored from the resistances. So you're only going to put in 350, 360 on there instead of putting your 660 on there. So whereas it looks like it's a 60 damage increase, it's actually going to be a 300 damage decrease. As well as these, you're going to want the enguard, which I believe I have somewhere. These here, enguard overdrive generator. Enguard, if you're familiar with it, does when 3 or more enemies are in the targeting range, it does extra damage. This is good for this fleet. However, if you were to use the sovereign against the fleets to get your behemoth, you want to take this off because it slows you down, which means the Phoenix can catch up, but we'll go through that a little later when I do the behemoth video. So back to the ship itself. We've got these on here, so you want these on it. If you can spend the time to put this on, it gives you extra weight to put these on. That might make you able to get it at an earlier stage, maybe Mark 3. I'm not sure. Mine was already elite when I refitted it for this farm. So you're going to want your enguard overdrive, thruster as high as you can and as light as you can, and then you're going to want your recharge module on there as well. The most damage you're going to be taking is going to be alien damage, so you want an alien refit. The only thing that's going to really do much damage to you is going to be the zeals that the orator drops when it gets in range to come and attack you. But to get past that, you just target the orator and destroy it before it has a chance to do enough damage to take your shields down. This enguard fitting keeps your shields up long enough as it gives you a boost. It makes them almost pretty much indestructible for quite a while, and then by the time they actually do manage to start doing damage to you, you've got rid of the fleets that are doing opposite damage. So obviously what's left is the alien, so it's resisting them all. Commander you're going to want to take with this one is Commander Burr, because he does 25 extra damage, so 25% extra damage is going to be a massive help against all these ships that are coming at you, and also you're going to want this little bit of an extra shield boost. Weapon speed, if you can throw a couple of cruisers in there that you don't need, just put them in there with it and then send them to one side or below your sovereign so that the ships still come at you. You get a little bit of extra boost. But for now, we'll head out and we'll find the fleet that we want to be killing to get these fragments for the new ship. and we'll get on with it, and I'll show you the method behind it. There is a specific way you want to do it, because you want to take out particular ships first to reduce the amount of damage you'll be taking whilst waiting for the orator, but I'll show you that when we attack the fleet itself. Another tip is always try and take one of these out with you. You want a scrapper fleet or a recycling fleet or whatever you want to call it. Just the 6 best ships for cargo, really. This one here is amazing, Behemoth. You get about 96 million on that one alone. Pack it up with whatever you can, depending on your fleet bay and what weight you can make a fleet of, and always have the commander that gives you the extra damage, the extra cargo capacity. Sorry, and take that with you. I'll be coming back. If I was to fill this fleet, I'd be coming back with 110, maybe 115 million. It's always a boost. As you can see, when you get to tier 7 and tier 8, you're going to use all your resources pretty quick. Let's do the champion. Let's go. So to start with, you're going to want to target the ship on the far right and then head down. The way it's going to work is you're going to target this one. As soon as you start your lasers firing at this one, you target this one. As soon as you start firing at that one, target this one, and by the time you've killed that, the main ship will be within your arc, and you just finish that off, and then basically just wait to polish up the rest. Every time you select a new fleet, make sure you send your ship down to the bottom. That way the orator doesn't get close enough too quick, close you down too quick before you're able to fight. As you can see, if I zoom in for you, all these Zeuses are doing alien damage, so you're resisting pretty much 100% of that. The only thing that's going to do the main damage to you is the orator. Hopefully I've clicked on that quick enough. As you can see, I'll zoom in, his shield's gone, my shield is still recharging and taking minimal damage. He's going down. And he's gone. Still got a little bit of shield left. It is close. Sometimes it might not work as you expect. So if you can bulk this ship up like I do, I stick the ship out in front, the Sovereign out in front, sorry, and then back it up with a couple of the new Val Ravens. If you haven't got Val Ravens, use Zeus. If you haven't got Zeus, anything like a destroyer or maybe even a cutter or whatever. These guys, you don't really need to focus on these if you don't want, but if you want to particularly kill the Zeuses first and get them out of the way and then finish these guys off, you can do, but pretty simple really. Now I wanted this video to be quite quick, so all I'm going to do now is going to send my Sovereign back home. I'll collect this. And what I'm going to do is, they are repairing at the moment, my Val Ravens, but I'm going to throw them into the fleet as well, maybe with a Zeus or two, and show you the same run, just with them ships, because it just speeds things up, gets you them fragments quicker, and at the same time, that's basically the step that you're going to be taking to do the Champion 110s. You use the same fleet, same ship, same build, but you're going to stock it up with some long-range ships that are going to do some extra damage on that orator, because with a bit of extra damage that you're going to be facing against him, he's going to get your shields down. This time, obviously, you won't have enough time to destroy him before you can deplete your shields. If you deplete your shields, you're going to lose your ship because of all the Zeuses there. So you pack your fleet up with a couple of long-range ships just to get rid of that orator that little bit quicker, so that you keep your 100% resistance, which makes life a lot easier. So if you've got some backup ships, what we want to do is we want to take the Sovereign and put the Sovereign in position 1. I always start that main one with the box fleet and have them in 5. You're at the bottom, the back row, in the middle, straight down. It brings all the ship into a central sort of funnel for you to just finish off. Formations, you're going to want this one here. So we're going to want our Sovereign there and our backup crew there. It's called the chicane. So one is going to be the front one. We'll get our Val Ravens. I know they're repairing, but it doesn't matter. Slightly damaged because I tried this video yesterday, and obviously wasn't focusing on them as much, their movements, so they got a little bit of a war wound. The reason they did take damage, just for your information, is because they were too close to the Sovereign. So them Zeus that are firing at you have got rounds that are going to glance off. They've got them glance cannons. So they're going to bounce off and ricochet into these, which gives them the damage. But I'll show you a way to get around that when we do the next one. Basically, you just send them south and then send them to one side. And then when you get to the orator part, just bring them back in. They'll stay at a range and they'll start finishing him off whilst your Sovereign does most of the damage. I've actually messed up a little bit there. So what I'm going to... Another thing I forgot to tell you is, when I added these Val Ravens onto this fleet, I changed the commander. It's for two reasons at the moment. The main reason is because I've got a lot more damage here that is explosive rather than energy. So it makes sense for me to use Daring Clay, as he does an extra 25% at the moment of explosive damage. I have less shields, but it shouldn't make a difference because the amount of damage that I'm going to be doing, I won't need as much shields because I won't need to survive as long, if you get what I mean. So I'll show you that in process, in action in a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick him on as well for the second reason, because he still needs leveling up. He's got another couple of levels to go before he gets this maximum 30% damage, which is always great. So we'll stick him onto the fleet and we'll send that out now. Again, like I've said at the beginning of this video, this is a video I've seen off someone that has already made a YouTube video about it. However, didn't explain the whole logistics behind the energy weapons and the alien weapons. Now, the information is out there for you to find easy enough. All you have to do is go to any of the ships that you want to build. Go into your blueprints, rather. Click on a ship, modifiers, resistances. It tells you everything there. However, when you get to this stage, they've all got different ones, and it's never at the front of your mind. It's something you easily forget about, and it's something you need to take into consideration every time you fight a fleet. Consider the damage increase against the other species. So this race does better damage against that one. Something to take into consideration. So if I'm going to farm in this kind of fleet, the Umbra fleet, I don't really want to be doing it with Sovereigns. I don't want to be doing it with anything Altarian because they're uber squishy. Keep an eye on your resistances, because these things can help when it comes to farming a particular fleet. For example, there was a fleet of Pharmacons that do plasma damage, which you've got 40% resistance to. But in the battleground, there was also, in the battle map, there was also a plasma nebula. Now, your ship hull is 100% resistance to these. Your shield isn't. Your shield resistance is only whatever your shield resistance is on your ship. So this only refers to your hull, I believe. So don't make the mistake that I did early on and fly into a plasma nebula because you think you've got 100% resistance. You still need a shield that has plasma. Otherwise you'll lose your shield and then you can sit in the nebula and not get hurt, but the ships will hurt you. So for that one, we used to just stick plasma shields on, plasma armour, stick yourself in the plasma nebula. That would take down their enemy's shields. And if you're in a bastion that was quick enough, you just finish them off from a distance and glance past their weapons because you're too fast for them, their missiles and projectiles to catch up. Anyway, back onto the fight that we've got at hand. Back onto the champion with the extended fleet. We'll attack that there, and we'll send our resources ready over to pick up. You'll see this was a lot quicker than the first one. Again, you don't need these ships. They can be any ships you want. Even some of your earlier ships that you're not really using anymore. Link them up quickly. Grab them. Drop them down there. Try and send them backwards and then they're always on point. Click on that one and down we go. A quick tip for this method. Take your AI off. Because as soon as you get to where you've told them to go to, they're going to start coming back, and that's not what you want. Again, I'm going to take them down that way actually, because I want them to send them off to the side. Click on your Zeus, click back down south, send these boys over to the side, click back on your Sovereign. As soon as he starts firing at the Zeus, click the next Zeus. Same method you were doing before. These guys can come in now. Sorry, I forgot to send him south again. Not too much of a big deal at the moment, but click them on there, click him south. These guys now should be far enough away so they don't take any damage from the glance weapons. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go a bit closer though, so there you go, now you can see the glancing off. That's what you want to avoid. See, it's taking damage. It's alright if it takes damage on the ablative shield equivalent, but when it takes your actual hull down, that's when you start losing your ships. Obviously you don't want to get any damage, you want to keep these as long as possible. That was a lot quicker. 6 fragments. Probably could have done it a little bit cleaner, but as you can understand, I'm trying to explain things at the same time. Make sure you pick up your resources, not do that like I just did. Don't attack those players. Hate it when they stand in front of you. It's alright, I'll get it when you're finished. No worries, I'll wait for you. Thank you very much. Right, we'll find another fleet and off we go. I'll show you one more run. Hopefully it'll be a lot quicker than the last one. Again, join them up. Grab them all. Send them away. No, send them away. Click on him. Click your first target, head south. Again, like I say, AI off. Leave these guys to do what they want. AI off means they'll go there and they'll just stay there. It means you don't have to worry about them coming back in, getting in your way. Because you've got to be pretty quick. Like I say, by doing this, you will get used to the tactics quickly. As you notice then, you've got to be aware, I clicked this one, but this one came into range first, so he got all the attack. I had to switch targets now, back onto this one. As we did before, click your next target, head south. Start bringing these boys in. As soon as he hits that, I'm going to hit that now actually. He comes in. These guys come in. These are amazing because if you do mess up, they just absolutely destroy everything. Like I said, with them having the resistance to all these weapons, you can just do whatever you want with these guys. These guys do mess things up a little bit, but with them doing so much damage to the orator and killing it that quick, you don't really need to worry about. Once you've sent them back in, you can just worry about them. He'll do his own thing and he'll finish off what's around him, basically taking no damage. I'll do one more run through. As you can see here, you get quite a lot of resources. This is what the third one I've done now. And I'm leaving 26 million behind. Best thing to do, best practice, is to get a jump ship that can have fleets attach onto it and warp across the systems, and just collect. By the time you've finished your fight, your warp time is reset. Click outside your home planet, warp, go in, come back out. Once you've docked and come back out, your warp's reset again. Go back to your place that you were fighting at and then warp over. Again, like I said, do another fight. By the time you finish your fight, you'll be ready to warp again. One last time, see if I can clean this up. Again, this is a new strategy to me. I only did this with the Sovereign to start with, but since then, I put it to the side for a little bit whilst I was trying to get these new Val Ravens and the new operator blueprints and weapons. Managed to get them now, and like I said earlier, watching everyone else that's been farming these new fleets, it seems to me that the next valid farming method is going to be predominantly Orator and Valraven kind of fleets. The reason being, these zeals, if you've got the range on them that you need, they will fly towards the target and hold them up. You'll see this in a minute when they come in now. So they come in, I could keep my zeal, my Orator at a massive advantage and keep him way back out of the action because there's no need for him to be in it, which means that the main ship that you're using gets no damage, so your Orator won't take any damage and your zeals will do all the work. Add a couple of these snipers to your fleet and you're pretty much going to be able to farm anything you want. Again, Sovereign's basically untouched. And that's pretty much it for the Orator. Like I said, if you've only got the Sovereign, use a Sovereign. It's easy enough to do. It can get close. I would suggest maybe having 1 or 2 long-range snipers to back it up if you can do, and if you can manage more than the 1 ship at the same time. As you can see there, it's quite hard. I've taken a little bit of damage here every now and then, but it does speed things up and get you that ship as soon as you possibly can. I've now nearly got enough to get this bad boy built, and I think again it's probably maybe an instant build, maybe an hour. I've got 643, so I'm going to stop this video and carry on farming them fragments, and hopefully have this done within the next hour and a half. If there's anything that I've gone over on my little video that you want to question or that you don't understand, just give us a shout and I'll try and explain it or go over it again. Thanks for dropping by. Tap out. Signing out.